Speaking of fucking bozos and idiots,
Man
United.
We went a whole podcast without talking about the fire show of Manchester United. I have
it's
no
still at
other
the same stage.
I have no other images of Manchester United players in or out, so we'll just go back to the one that we've been using for like 5 pods, which is Mbeumo is nearing, edging, almost finishing to coming to United at some point. I'll let you guys go first because I'm going to try to take a more optimistic route, and I think you guys are probably more pessimistic.
No,
I don't know what the point. Like, why are we taking so long with this?
So they don't get their pants pulled down. Because United taxes.
There's other business to be done.
That's true too.
So if this is going to take all your time, then it's not really worth it.
I think it shows how dire the finances are. If I had to guess, like they really do need to get these outgoings going.
They might really need it. Either that or they really want the player too.
I think that's smart. So we do need to be patient in that sense. And once you're seeing names that you're interested in start to fly off the rack and clearance is over, and you do need to get some guys in. I think that's very clear. I mean, when you got rid of, Anthony, Sancho, Rashford, you didn't replace them with any bodies. So kind of what we were just saying about Arsenal, you need someone in the forward positions, regardless if they end up being good or not. You do need players. So that's kind of my big worry. But again, I think it's just down to your finances. But then I'm worried that you can't sell players. So something does need to get going, but get the best price you can for Mbeumo. I still think it'll happen. I don't doubt it, but I'd be frustrated. Like,
I think it'll have time.
We got other stuff needs to get done. I'd be getting antsy, but calma. Nothing. It's not. Oh my God, we're cooked yet. It's easy mentality to jump into, but there's still a lot of time.
Yeah. No, obviously, like social media is going crazy because we got this Mbeumo news over a month ago. And so what I think happened was I think the calculus of the summer changed because they had no idea Mbeumo was on the market. And so I think that they found out that Mbeumo was on the market. They were the first to make a bid. And that's just what happened. And now they've been negotiating and, like you said, trying not to get their pants pulled down. So I'm not upset with Mbeumo not being here yet because I think that he will be here. It's just trying not to be United, which is good. Like they need to get rid of that tax. And we talked about that last summer. Like it's important to try to get rid of that. But at the same time, it's a little worrying in the sense of like, there just hasn't been links to anyone, which I'm going to take in the optimistic route of they're finally cleaning up shop in terms of these moles and these rats that they've had in the club forever. Leaking shit and putting things out there because I think that it's better to move in silence. Like City moved in silence and then popped out signings. Chelsea have moved in silence and then just popped out signings. That's the way to do business. You don't need your laundry out on the front lawn. I think that's why Amorim shut down this Amazon deal that they were talking about. It's more important for United to clean out the stuff that's there and not just put their new shit on the lawn like they've been doing and repeating, but more importantly, just get everyone in line and then do the right business because doing the right business is a more important task this summer than doing impulse decisions.
Well, you've done the past decade.
Yeah, it's frustrating as all hell. I hate it. I hate watching you guys go around and fucking punt out signings every five.
He's playing tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, but fuck, what if United deserved to have that right to do it? They haven't. They don't sell anyone. They just buy people for ludicrous. And that's the way that the world has gone around. And that's what's put them in this hole. So I hope that it changes. I hope that I'm being optimistic and my faith is being put in the right spot. I could be fucking wrong.
That'd be funny.
I'm just hoping that Omar Barada is a better sporting director than the ones that we've had in the past. I think he did a good job at City. I'm hoping that he can bring that over to United. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But I mean, Osimhen's gone. Gyökeres is gone. David is gone. I actually don't hate Calvert-Lewin as a backup, but I don't want him as my marquee summer signing.
Yeah. I think what you guys need to do, in my opinion, because I'm seeing some, you see some fan lineups, 99% of them are just awful. Like most of, if not all the United ones I'm seeing are just like, I don't like him. I think go shop ship, in my opinion. That it'll be quiet there. And I mean, look at Wharton, for example. They found him last January, the season before, not this past one. They've had him for a year and a half. But I mean, look at him. He's England international. He got called up to the Euros. Like, there are players there in the championship that can come in and do a job. What better time? It's always going to be United. The badge will always be heavy. But what better time to come in and just kind of sneak in a 19-year-old guy who's never played first division? I think time. Not everyone's going to be a Wharton. You know what I mean? There's going to be some misses, but that's probably the way to go, because I think you're right about Amarim. And I think this is what kind of the kind of hope that all United fans clinged on to, and I supported him for it too. I think he's no nonsense. Get Amazon out of here. Get all these players out of here. Let's reset. And that's why I think Facundo also had a point with change the system, do something. But I think part of seeing how stubborn he was in that sense, we knew what he was about. And I think you're right. I do agree. I think that is what he's about. It's time to get rid of all this shit and put in the players that deserve to be here, want to be here, and do the job here. And again, I think if you shop in the championship, you get some kid at Blackburn. Hey, you're our starting DM. Oh my God, he's going to give everything. I'll play in the system. I don't give a shit what system it is. I think that's probably the best path to success. It's not going to all be kids, but you got to bring in senior players. But I don't know, I think that's the quickest way back without cheating it.
Yeah, and from an Amarim perspective, I think that if he wanted a 9 would be here. And I think that he's ready to make tactical changes. Because, look, I don't think you make a Cunha signing and then go for Mbeumo with the idea that you're going to have money for another striker. I think if that was the plan and that's what Amarim wanted, United would have spent the 80 million. He would have overpaid for Gyökeres and he would already be here. So I think Amarim's understanding of that it's time to change, and he knows that he needs to change. He got punched in the mouth. So we'll see what that change is. I'm hoping that we get something sooner rather than later, just to appease to people a little bit. But the only downside to all of this is I thought he needed a full preseason with these guys, and they just reported today, and now you don't have that. And so that sucks. And I'd love for these guys to be on the tour so they can start getting minutes with the manager and get that kind of loading, because they need a hot start right from the beginning. The only link that now I'm clinging onto at striker, if they do end up getting it, is Watkins, because we've talked about him with Arsenal. We've talked about him with Chelsea. Now it's being linked with United. You've got two clubs desperate for two different things. They need money. We need a striker. Watkins might be the perfect player at the perfect time for both clubs. From Villa's perspective, what they do to replace that, I have no idea. I don't know if that's a Rashford thing. I don't know if Rashford
I know who it is.
It could be Jackson, right? Yeah. Very
that's
interesting.
Another domino.
But maybe that's the issue. Is United needed other teams to start spending to know what they could get rid of. Because I feel like Rashford, they needed to figure out if Nico Williams is going to Barca. Right? Like now you know that there is a pathway to getting him there. Sancho is it sounds like Sancho is going to be the first one out, and they're going to work something out with Juventus to maybe get someone back. So we'll see. But I like Watkins as a profile. I think if they're already in for a bunch of money in terms of we're going with this older crop, we're buying goals. Watkins hasn't had an under double-digit goal tally in the league, I think, in like 5 years. Pretty much since coming up with Villa, like he just bags 10-plus goals. So you're inserting 10-plus goals. He might miss chances. The profile might be wrong. But I think that in terms of just a player, Amarim will love him, and I think that it just makes United a better team. So why not take the swing on him?
Yeah.
A lot of the timings and links are floor raisers.
What were we going to say, Mila?
As a transitional piece, though, if you guys don't want to overspend and go get a striker this year, I think he is the alternative. He's proven, like you said, he's consistent in the league at least. It might not be top tier every season, but it's consistency. So I think he would be a great signing for you guys just in the meantime, 1-2 years, and then make that big signing at the striker once the foundation is built around it.
Yeah. The goal from Barada has been the 50th or the 150th year mark? Or the 27, 28, whatever it is. And getting United to a spot where they are competing and winning league championships then. So if you're United, you can get this stopgap striker. Like, look, if United can make a run, get into a Champions League spot, this is a big gamble, right? And the leapfrog of getting there would be high. I think obviously if you get a Watkins, that improves your chances. You get Champions League football next year, and there's an Isak that's on the window. As United, you have enough pull to make that at least a viable argument next summer for your marquee signing to be Isak, right? And who knows? You can actually play ball. Like, who knows? Maybe Liverpool fall off a cliff. They just spent 150 on Wirtz. They don't have the money. Arsenal just spent 80 on Gyökeres. They don't have the money. Chelsea, they'll be in the bidding, but City have Holland. Like, who knows? So I think you just have to put yourself in spots to get closer to Champions League. Watkins feels like a player that gets you closer to Champions Leagues.
That was my idea with us not getting a striker. Like after Delap, I was like,
yeah,
well, let everyone, Sheshko, Ekatike, Gyökeres, all them, like, then go get Isak. That, yeah, I'm not mad. And again, I think floor raisers, the floor needs to raise because the floor cannot be 15th. It just cannot be. The floor has to be 8th. And that's low, but that's the floor, right? You can't get lower than that. And you're bringing a lot of guys in where the floor is just coming up. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. And to your point, they're not the ones that are going to get you lifting the trophies, but you do need these guys to come in. It's not going to just be an instant fix. And again, shopping the championship, all that good stuff, you still need an Ollie Watkins here. And you need guys to bridge the gap. So
yeah, the quality in the squad's going to have to go up.